A couple of months ago, I did this video about the Alexis Ren strategy and how you can actually effectively use it to grow your Instagram a lot. Here's the thing though, this strategy as of right now does not work as good anymore as it used to be. And by the strategy, I mean basically setting up fan pages and stuff like that. Good for you though, my friends, cause there's a new strategy that I've been cooking up behind the scenes. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what it takes to grow effectively in 2019. And actually the rest of 2018. Welcome back, my friends. My name is Dominic, and if you're new here, we talk about usually social media marketing, Instagram marketing, building up your brand online, and all those weird encounters that happen along the way. So if you're into that, just hit that subscribe button. I'm sure you won't miss any of the important stuff if you do that. So you probably might have come across multiple videos about how Alexis Ren actually became big, and they all more or less talk about building up fan pages to actually, multiple fan pages to actually feed to the main account. Right, so and this thing did work up until recently ago. It still does work to some extent, but actually it works less and less because of Instagram. But let me get into that. You might have seen my latest video about this whole Facebook/Instagram frenzy and stuff like that. Maybe because of this whole, hacking, whatever thing that was going on, or maybe because of something else, they started cracking down on those fan accounts, especially accounts that were made, from one person, and that was kind of connected to the main account. And I personally think that Instagram's algorithm has actually figured out some new ways to actually find patterns between those fan accounts, the original accounts, and even if you took care of setting these accounts up the right way, I still think they can pretty much tell easily if it was made by you or not, right? Because, well, at our agency, we actually did the best work to actually try to minimize that whole footprint. When reposting content, for example, we would never, just repost the picture, but we would slightly differentiate it, slightly alter it, so that Instagram's algorithm would not recognize that as the same picture. We would use different phones, change the checksum, device ID, whatever. I don't want to confuse you too much. Still, lots of these fan accounts, even though we did the best to actually try to minimize the whole footprint, were put into what we call a so-called phone verification, right? And this is basically when Instagram kind of bans you, until you take out your phone again to actually prove, okay, I'm the real person, stuff like that. Well, good, but it's just not viable anymore because of that. And recently they happened really frequently. This method just didn't become viable anymore. It takes too much time, takes too much effort for not as much return as we hoped it would be. And I'm sure other agencies think about that the same way. But actually, my friends, with some thinking and testing in the shower, we actually found out some new ways to actually tweak that whole method to actually give you the best returns, to actually maximize this whole thing, probably even a little bit further, and to actually up the quality of this strategy. And I will tell you how that works so you can do that yourself right now. So basically the gist of this whole concept is, and it actually sounds a lot easier than it actually is to find or grow them yourself. Lots of pages, niche pages, but real niche pages, and basically shout out your main account, but not with every picture, not just like a fan account, but like a regular feature account, and basically if you don't have time to actually grow them out yourself, because it takes a lot of time, actually try to find and reach out to big feeder accounts and let them shout you out. Right, sounds easier than it actually is. Let me tell you why. First of all, you need lots of feeder accounts, lots of sources actually. And with the first test that we did was actually we had 30 to 50 feeder accounts, each shouting out to the main account. Then what we also did was to actually leverage this whole thing further by doing some strategic power liking. And I'm gonna do a video about power likes a little bit later, probably next week. And the thing is, the sources actually need to be somewhat established. They need to have an established audience. The bigger or the better established the feeder accounts are, the better it works, right? It actually makes sense, right? I'm talking about the range between a couple of thousand followers only up until 50,000. You can use a million followers. Right, better just type. But what I wanted to say is, usually the real big accounts, like the 1 million, 3 million plus, well, they do work, but for this method, you actually want to have a really, really engaged audience. And, usually with bigger accounts, their engagement rate and, it's just not that good for this strategy. Just let me just leave it at that point. So how can you actually find those accounts? First of all, what you might want to do if you don't want to grow them yourself, which is actually the second method, well, you can create a list and list out all of the accounts that have a similar audience as you have, niche pages, even some personal pages, whatever. List them all out and list out 50. Probably better to even list out 3 times as that. What you want to do then is to actually try to reach out to them and actually try to negotiate some sort of a deal, because you want perpetual. You want to have some shout outs and stuff like that on an ongoing basis, right? Second method is, of course, to actually grow your whole shout out network yourself. It is a lot of work. You need to have a whole network for each niche, for different niches, but it's actually the best thing ever, because you control your audience, you control the content, you control everything. And basically, if you want to go pro, you might to consider that. And the third method is just a quick one to actually hire some sort of an agency to actually do that for you, because they might know what to do. Well, actually, I kind of know a guy who owns an agency, but well. So basically, what differentiates this method from the old Alexis Ren fan page strategy is that it's a lot more real, right? It seems more real, it appears more real, and it actually is more real. And obviously the Instagram algorithm favors that. They actually like real human interactions, right? And basically it is more real, right? Because they're real pages. They're not like fan pages which did work, which was a good idea, but especially for some people, it just doesn't cut it, right? Because you're a guy with 1,500 followers, set up your fan pages, no one knows you, but you have fan pages and stuff like that. First of all, it's not natural to the algorithm, it's not natural to yourself, and it's actually not natural to those people that stumble upon these fan pages, because they're like, all right, fan page, but this is why I always said you kind of need to have an established following when trying to put this method together. But here's the thing, with this method, it does not care how many followers you actually have. You're a small guy, you have great content, but you only have 1,000 followers, so be it. You have those authority pages on Instagram giving you the traffic perpetually, like every other day, or like every day, and but different people every day, right? And then actually, which brings me to the next point here, is that this whole thing actually favors the Instagram algorithm a lot. Favors your algorithm rating, your category, if you will, because you have all these niche accounts on Instagram giving you a shout out, but not every day, but like only once every month. First of all, it reduces your footprint within Instagram, which is great. Second of all, it solidifies your own algorithm rating, because they're kind of like authority pages, because ideally you want to have some bigger pages in there as well. And as we know, or as we are pretty sure, is that Instagram favors bigger pages in terms of weight a little bit more. And in turn, lots of people, first of all, them shouting you out, and second of all, lots of people coming over from them. And because Instagram is smart and they actually know the whole user behavior, where they come from, where they go to, and they actually see, okay, the new followers actually mainly come from people within that category, from big pages, from small pages. This just solidifies your own stance within this whole algorithm thing, and this actually boosts up your chances of hitting the explore page harder than ever. So for example, here's a test account that we ran with one of our clients. You could see like the initial stages, he gained about 200 to 300 followers a day, still continues to do that, still trying to tweak stuff up, of course. There's some other people, unfortunately I can't always show their names, because they want to kind of stay low under the radar. But I just wanted to show you that it really is a real thing, and I'm not just some guy, I'm not just some dog with a mask. Anyway, so if you want to know more about this whole strategy, about the ins and outs, about how you actually could structure the whole shout out, because you have to kind of take care about this to make it look natural, about everything, we actually have a live training coming up tomorrow, hopefully, if the tech, this whole tech aspect was going to work. We'll see. I put the link down in my description. By the way, if you're wondering why there's some alcohol stuff like in the back, yes, for some reason, alcohol companies sent me their alcohol home for free. You guys are the weirdest people ever. But I love you. I actually like you a lot. my friends. Anyway, and if you want to know more about strategies like this, about other secret untapped strategies, you can actually check out my online program called Unemployed, where you actually learn how to build up an Instagram page sustainably and actually make a career out of that sustainably without the bull crap and all of that. Here's the thing though, my friends, we're gonna close this whole thing on October 17th. It's going to be off the cuff. No one's gonna be in there anymore, no new people. So if you want to secure your spot, do it up until October 17th. And because it actually is my birthday month, I'm not gonna tell you which date exactly is my birthday. So if you want to get in there up until October 17th, you have the possibility, massive discount. Link is in the description also. And just to recap this whole thing, don't create fan pages anymore or just mere fan pages. Think bigger. Create niche pages, create other sorts of pages around your topic, around your niche, just think about it. Or actually attend my live class, which is actually free, by the way. And other than that, I'm gonna see you in a couple of days or tomorrow, and watch out for the bed bugs. Well, bye-bye. My name's Dominic, by the way, and subscribe, by the way, and give me a like if you like this video. Ciao.